The next one is spanking. Here in Australia, and I'm also from New Zealand, we call it smacking. And the way I think about spanking or smacking is that there's a difference between spanking and smacking your child and beating them. When I think of a spank or a smack, I think of a quick, spank or smack on the hand or on the, on the side or on the shoulder or whatever. And usually that is a reaction to something like desperate. In the sense of, like, every time I got spanked or smacked, I did something extremely naughty, like running out onto the road and not paying attention and things like that. Obviously there was heaps of other times where I got smacked as a punishment for back chatting or something like that, which isn't good. But I do feel like there is a boundary, and then there is a difference between abusing your child and giving them a spank or a smack. And it just depends on the situation and why you're doing it. I think some people can be so overzealous with the whole spanking, smacking, like any old excuse is a good one to just smack. I think there's plenty of more other punishment and reinforcement techniques, and that's a spank or a smack should be the last thing that you choose. I'm not going to say I'm not going to smack my child, but I'm certainly not going to beat her. Like, yeah, I just in New Zealand, actually, I think smacking is now illegal. And I think that's a good thing too, because I think at one stage New Zealand had a really high rate of child abuse, and I think completely eliminating that whole thing stops those boundaries being crossed. So making it completely illegal to spank or smack stops people that are going to cross that line and abuse their child. So yeah, that's a good thing. The next one's co-sleeping. I'm against co-sleeping. In the set, what I mean by that is, I think there's an age limit for co-sleeping. I don't feel like a toddler or a small child should be sleeping with its parents, day in, day out, that is. I mean, if they've had a nightmare or something like that, then that's okay. But I just don't feel like a child should be sleeping with its parents. I think it can cause psychological issues like attachment issues, separation anxiety too, clinginess, all that sort of stuff for an older child. But, excuse me, sorry. But for a small baby, I think co-sleeping can be very beneficial, especially if you're breastfeeding as well. I understand the bonding and everything like that, but definitely I can't give you an age limit because I don't know. I haven't got a baby yet, and I'm still, I don't know that much, but I do feel like, like a toddler and a small child, I don't feel should be sleeping with mum and dad. The next one's schooling. Like they've got home, public, private and charter. I don't know what charter is. I think that might be an American thing. I personally don't, I think it doesn't matter what school your kid goes to. Public and private, it doesn't matter. It depends on what you want from the school. If you're Catholic and you want the child to go to a Catholic school or whatever. But in the terms of education and success, I think it depends on the school, in the sense that depends on the child. If your child is going to succeed, they will, regardless of whether they're in a private school or in a public school. And I was in a public school and I didn't get like massive awesome grades or anything, but that is my own fault, not the school's fault. It is what a school is, and education is what a child makes of it and how much effort they put in. And yeah, homeschooling is slightly different. I think homeschooling, as long as they're getting the right education for their age, and as long as they're getting the right education, then that's good. But if it's something that's, you know, making them fall behind for their age or their years, then that's probably not a good idea. And it's something that, but I don't know much about homeschooling at all. The next one's vaccinations and medication. I'm pro-vaccination. I don't know why you wouldn't vaccinate your children. This kind of makes me a bit angry. It's probably one thing that I'm very opinionated against. You know, I'm very open-minded to everyone's opinions on everything, even vaccinations. But just from what I know from all the science I've done, I studied vet nursing as well, so obviously we had to do vaccinations and stuff like that. Vaccinations work on your body's natural ability to create immunities. So when you are exposed to a disease or an illness, your body creates antibodies to fight it, and you get over it. And then your body remembers how to fight that particular strain, and that is how a vaccine works. It's usually a deactivated strain of the flu or meningitis or whatever. I am not a medical professional. I do not have a degree in medicine, so I am not going to make that choice for my daughter, in the sense of I am not going to say no to vaccinations because I don't believe in them. I don't think that's right, because I am not a medical professional. Why would I deny her medicine because of my own beliefs? If she was to fall ill with, like, miraculously ill with one of the diseases, like meningococcal or something, and die, and it could have been avoided because of vaccinations, I can't imagine how guilty I would feel. And that's the whole reason why we don't really have any of these diseases anymore, is because of vaccination, because everyone's built up an immunity, they get vaccinated all the time. But I do think there is some vaccines where it's a bit silly. I think the flu vaccine personally is a bit silly. I don't know too much about it, but it's the flu. Like, people get the flu all the time, and I don't think, you know, that's probably a silly one. Whether I'll do it or not, I don't know, but I haven't had the flu vaccine in a very long time. Not because I have chosen not to, but because I just haven't gotten around to it. And the medication thing, I'm on the fence with that one, in the sense of it really depends what you're medicating for, and the reasons why. I think some people can be overzealous with pain medication, you know, or give their kids, are too quick to give their kids medicine when they might not need it, and it can make them very sick. So I think if your child has an illness and it's been investigated and they think they prescribe you some medicine to fix that, then certainly you should be medicating your child. But then I think there's sometimes when people like self-medicate, they think they know what's wrong, so they think they'll just give them some medicine, and that's not quite right. The next one is cloth and diapering versus disposable diapering, or nappying as we say over in Australia. I don't think that's controversial either. Who cares what someone does with their baby's poo? Like, cloth diapering is really good. I love the idea of it. I'd like to try it, but I think we might be doing like a mix of it, because Lance he's not really into it, but I am. I'm right into it. Disposables are so convenient though, so I don't know, I think we'll try to do a mix of it. I'm for either one. I don't care what you put on your baby's bottom. And yeah, and then I've got two different topics of my own that I really wanted to talk about that I find are kind of controversial. Same-sex parenting is one of them, and that sort of comes from adoption as well. I personally believe that your sexual orientation should not reflect on your parenting ability and your ability to raise a child well, or to adopt a child as well. Unless your sexual orientation is for little children, I don't think there is a problem with it. I am so for gay marriage and everything like that, and gay people can give a child just as much opportunities as a straight couple. And I think, I'm not too sure, but I think gay people are having a hard time with the whole adoption process too, and even fostering. And I think to base a decision on, like, for the adoption on a couple's sexual orientation as opposed to their lifestyle, in the sense of you know, their income and their stability and all those things that actually matter, is really, really bad. And you know, I think they should be looking more into what the couple can provide a child rather than their sexual orientation. And you know, I have gay family members, and they are some of the most dedicated parents that I know of. And the last one is the baby leashes. I hate them. I can't stand them. How hard is it to hold your child's hand? I don't care whether it's a cute little monkey or a butterfly harness or whatever it is. It's still a leash, and I don't know why people use them, because you know, if you've got your pram with your youngest child in it, and then I've got like the baby walking around on a leash, which I can understand, you know, you've got one hand you can hold, but hold the baby's hand. What's even worse is when I've just got the baby walking around on the leash and they don't have anything else going on. It's like, how hard is it to hold your baby's hand? I think it's really, really lazy, and I don't know, just they've always irritated me, and yeah. But that's all I've got to say, really. Obviously, with a lot of these things, I'm umming and ahhing, and I don't know too much about, like, yeah, my views could definitely change once baby gets here, so we'll see how it all goes. Yeah, and if you want to leave a comment, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll subscribe to you back too. So if you want to leave me a message or something telling me your channel, I'll definitely subscribe to your channel as well. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed and found it kind of interesting, and yeah, see ya.